What's going on, Fresh Baked? We're back with another update from the construction going on at Disneyland and at DCA, and we're going to start here at Dumbo to see how things are coming along with the repainting of some of those structures back there in the back left, which there is no progress. They're actually, like last week, they've just been stripped so far. No new paint there. We do have the new paint on that structure in the back. But what we're stopping here for is those things right there. Trying to figure out what those are. If those are maybe some, initial framework or supports for an eventual structure, maybe a shade structure. I'm not sure. There's kind of a variety of things being erected there, but you do see a sort of pattern of those steel-looking bars. There's an arrangement there that I'm guessing is probably going to wind up being some kind of shade structure. But that's as far as we've got so far at Dumbo. So we're going to take this over to Fantasyland to check out what's going on at Small World. And instead of doing full commentary here, I'm going to let Ian and I's conversation speak. We talked here for quite a bit, and this is sort of a condensed version of that conversation.
Stuff. Like I said, you can tell that they definitely did finish the gate there, where it's not just the white, they put on an overlay over the gate. Wow. Here, new lamps over there. Oh, look at those new lamps over there. There. Okay, so the sea serpent was over there somewhere, yes. Right about there.
And now he's over here.
And now he's over here. It's sort of, right here. It would have started the curve left a little bit, yeah. Right?
Curve left a little more heavily.
Yeah. And the gate would have been where those trees are.
More closer to where that original Small World wall is.
Oh, okay. All right, over here. What else? Okay, so it's not a shade structure, Ian. It's
Well, it looks like there's still a few construction walls up. It's not quite done.
Oh, over there you mean?
There and over here by the gate.
Well, what I mean to say though is I don't think they're going to put any structure over the queue. Do you think that?
No, that's what the trees are for.
Right, so there's just the trees, which was what somebody was saying is that the queue is going to go in between the trees, which is nice. I'm really enjoying back there. What's going on back there? Look at all that shade those guys are getting. I do like this. I like this a lot.
Overall, it looks nice. Looks like there's probably still a little more work to be done here.
These trees need to fill out for sure, though.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of trees. So that's what I've been saying about the rivers of America since they reopened, right?
He is checking me, guys. That's the nature of trees. He says. I love you, Ian.
I'm pretty sure you've said the same thing to me when I was talking about the trees on the river.
90% error, or is that? Oh no. Okay.
Just when I was talking about how the rivers of America, the trees aren't big yet because they have to grow.
It's going to take
them as big as they
decades for that. Here's the new wall.
Cobble.
Yeah, am I right? Cobble?
It's not
That's what I called it last week.
I think it's not quite cobble, but it's cobble-like.
It's cobble-like. But there's a new wall here, and that wall right there looks temporary, right?
Yeah, they'll probably either
they're finishing something there.
The big white poles are probably for more of that Small World style wall.
Yeah, okay, obviously, all this is new, obviously, because this was backstage before.
Yes.
Backstage would have been right about where we're standing. Yeah. Right? Do you think that they would never need to go over here again?
Not never, but they'll be greatly reduced how often.
On the busiest days only.
Like only probably on the busiest holiday time.
Holidays, yeah.
Probably not outside holiday time. I'd be surprised to see it stretch across.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great because that is a nuisance.
Not just for guests, but for cast members.
Yeah.
It means they have to join cabs and go back and forth. It's a nightmare for them as much as
right. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go.
It sounds like Fast Pass is now back, at least permanently.
Oh, really?
Small World.
Where, at Matterhorn?
Yeah, that's where the distribution is.
That's too bad.
Okay, let's take it over to DCA to look at what's going on at PIxar Pier, and our questions have been answered about what's going on with these things. We wondered what they were going to put there, what those structures were there before, and we now have our answer. These cupolas that are kind of matching and bracket the entrance to PIxar Pier. As a matter of fact, we know even more than this now because Blue Sky Cellar is open, and I'm going to drop a photo in here that's going to give us a little more detail about what to expect. So here's a shot we got at eye level of, as you enter the pier, and there's an idea of the signage, and obviously those two cupolas that are going to bracket the entrance there. It looks pretty good. And then a similar matching one will, be installed over the glass building as you enter what used to be Ariel's Grotto and what is now Lamplight Lounge. And here we're going to take a look at the Mickey's Fun Wheel. We didn't notice this last week, but you can tell that the top half of the fun wheel is now blue, which means that they finished painting what was the bottom half. The bottom half has been rotated to the top half and vice versa, and they're painting that thing blue. And then we'll take a pan across to look at all the scaffolding once again, and you can see off in the distance that PIxar Pier has emerged on the loop, and we'll take another look at that here in a little bit, but for now we're going to watch these guys have a lunch break up there while they paint the launch tubes. And now we're going to take a look. There has been some progress. You've seen some facades work being done here on the beginnings of the boardwalk. Last week, all the signage was still there. Now, most of the signage is gone. We also have an idea. We'll pause here at what possible games might be destined for the boardwalk as we were at the Blue Sky Cellar. We might expect, for example, Heimlich's Candy Corn Toss. I wonder what that's going to be. That's kind of neat. I don't know if these games are going to match the old games or not, or if they're going to design some brand new games. Who knows? And we should also expect to see a La Luna game. Now, Ian and I both agreed that this looks like the old where you fish, but it's going to be La Luna themed instead, a Pixar short, which is pretty neat that they're using the shorts here rather than a movie, which I'm down with that. Now, real quick here, you can see that the gift shop is now open again along Paradise Pier as you enter. There's two entrances for Nick's Knacks. Nick's Knacks, if you recall, this is named after the old Pixar short with the snowman and the globe. So his name is Nick. Those are his knacks. And here's another entrance to Nick's Knacks. And then we'll pan over and see that they've now totally scrimmed up the facade for the adorable snowman. Now here's something fun. These are the billboards or whatever that used to have pictures like the Coppertone type advertisement on there. We now know what some of those are going to look like as well. For example, one of them might be Woody doing his best impression of the Coppertone ad. We get to see what kind of boxers Woody favors. And then we'll take a look at the ongoing construction or the remodeling of the queue building for Incredicoaster. The appendages that they're putting on there. Here's a closer look at the appendage on the right of the primary structure. And then we'll pan over to the left to see how that work is coming along. They've added more steel since last week. And another view. I'm just fascinated by this process for some reason.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, man. Finally.
Here's a closer look at the loop where we saw the PIxar Pier getting added to the loop. I suppose we'll see more of that next week. It's going to come into focus real quick. And now these guys, here's a close-up. These guys are just painting. These guys are painting the heck out of that screen tube. There are so many dudes with red paintbrushes painting that thing red. They're going at it. I don't know. I got a kick out of this. It's really bright. And then one last look into the exterior queue of Incredicoaster. You can see that they've stripped it even further from last week. There's less steel underneath, so that they're going to gut that thing entirely, it looks like. The only thing that's remaining really is the roof structure. At least that's the way it looks. And then we'll close with another look at the up-and-coming new parking structure adjacent to the Mickey and Friends parking structure. About the same progress. The amount of dirt has grown slightly. Let's all do a dirt update, I guess. That is one of my favorite things, is measuring how much dirt is around. And you get yourself your little parade of earth movers there, and the flatlands back there of the eventual parking structure. So that's going to do it today. Guys, thanks for joining us on this update from DCA and Disneyland and the Mickey and Friends parking structure. We hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week. First bite. we've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!